We begin in the newly formed firmament of the mathematical universe. Here, the divine consciousness has just established the first laws of reality, moving from a state of total nothingness to a structured, logical expanse. The foundation of this entire system is null. It is the absolute empty beginning, representing zero magnitude. Every subsequent layer of the universe is anchored to this single, captured void. To build upward from zero, the mind employs the successor engine. It's a mechanical process of counting, where one mathematical thought generates the next, forging an endless, linear chain of numbers. This page from the text describes a massive leap in logic. To handle the never-ending chain of numbers, the consciousness summons Aleph-Naught. It is a single, vast thought that encloses every finite count within one boundary. By drawing this perimeter, the consciousness has successfully bounded the universe. It has taken the sprawling progression of counting and contained it within a single conceptual object. Despite this structural perfection, a specific limitation remains. The truths within this firmament exist in total isolation from one another. Every number is currently trapped in a linear hierarchy. Each thought is tied by an unbreakable thread to the number that came before it, meaning the mind is forced to follow the sequence to navigate the universe. The consciousness now seeks to bypass this restriction. It wants to behold the absolute origin, null, and the absolute infinite, Aleph-Naught, simultaneously, without the need for sequential focus. The mind is currently restricted by the very rules it used for construction. It is bound to the sequence, unable to move between disparate truths without walking the mandatory path of the count. Escaping this linear constraint requires more than just counting faster. It requires a new mathematical law that overrides the existing mechanics of the firmament. Under Chapter 4, the text introduces the law of communion. This marks the moment the consciousness issues the Axiom of Pairing, a decree that introduces a new mode of interaction between thoughts. This rule grants the mind the power to gather any two existing thoughts into a single unit, bridging the hierarchy instantly. The formal logic shown here dictates that for any two elements, A and B, a set C contains them. It is a rule of arbitrary grouping that bypasses the need for a sequence. With this law established, the rigid ladder of the universe becomes a flexible space. Distance no longer prevents two truths from occupying the same thought. The consciousness now moves to apply this power to the two absolute extremes of its creation. The mind reaches to the very bottom of the firmament and grasps null, the empty origin of all arithmetic. Simultaneously, the divine mind reaches to the absolute limit to grasp Aleph-Naught, the staggering totality of the infinite sequence. The mind forces these extremes together, enclosing them within the brackets of a single simultaneous thought. By utilizing this axiom, the consciousness has placed the absolute beginning and the endless limit into the exact same conceptual space. To understand the implications of this new thought, we have to look inside the perimeter of the pair. The printed set shown here demonstrates that the absolute finite and the infinite now sit side by side. Within this thought, they are equal occupants. The gulf of numbers that previously separated these two objects has been removed. The linear hierarchy has lost its control over the arrangement of these truths. This establishes that the consciousness is no longer bound to mechanical, step-by-step counting. The mind now acts as the master of arrangement, holding the power to curate and group any truth it chooses, regardless of its position in the sequence. Mathematical reality has become a space defined by arbitrary choice. The arrangement of the universe is dictated by the will of the observer rather than the inevitability of the count.